Hey guys, welcome back. It's time we're going to press the grading companies a little bit. Yes, the big three on the absolute disaster that is signatures currently. Yes, it happens elsewhere, but Pokemon has been the target recently, and it seems like the grading companies don't want to do anything about it. After we get through that, we're going to touch on the new authentication certification service from PSA where they're going to certify the mystery boxes. So we got a whole segment on gambling in the space. I mean, the whole world is like gambling now. I don't know what the hell happened, but everything is a gamble. If it's not gambling, is it even a thing? It's a weird world we live in now. All right, first up here, let's talk autographs. I have countless videos on autographs. If you like autographs, if you're thinking at any point you want to pick up an autograph, I'm here to tell you the short and sweet is you should not trust any of the grading companies with the authentication of these autographs because we've seen many instances where they're fake and the grading companies do nothing about it. We got PSA's guarantee, which does not apply to signatures, and they for some reason, they don't authenticate a sketch. They don't authenticate anything other than the signature itself, and they can't even do that correctly. So we got more examples. And if you need an example of how bad and how absolutely widespread this can be, we got a $350 million signature scam that was covered there, largely in the sports card world. But as we know, a lot of the stuff from sports cards, because that was traditionally worth more money, a lot of the scams there, a lot of the scammers there tend to whittle their way into a Pokemon. And now that there is money to be made, where there's money, there are scammers, and you need to be on the lookout. You need to be extremely careful. You cannot blindly trust. You should barely trust the grading companies, even when you're in terms of the grade itself on the card. Buy the card, not the grade. Make sure you're looking the card over. Be careful out there. All right. So we have more posts from Swolepoke, and this is really telling. We have some extreme examples here where we have individuals, not just Swolepoke, but a couple others who have offered their opinions for free, their expert opinions, and probably more of an expert opinion than the individual that is working and authenticating these for PSA at the moment, which they can't even name. Why wouldn't you want to name your expert, right? Your expert should be have him propped up. Be like, look, this guy is an expert. He is the best in the industry. We're paying him so much money because you guys can trust us. No, not the case. They're going to hide him in the back room, and he's going to make some mistakes. And it's fine. Mistakes can happen. But when it's pointed out, when there are examples where it's just copies of other cards, this one's BGS. BGS is by far the worst, along with Probstein, who... Now, consignment companies are a scammer's wet dream. They absolutely love that shit because they don't even have to put their name behind it. Oftentimes, the consignment company will hide the identity of the scammer in question so they can just pump it through there. And don't worry, it's BGS's fault if it's fake. Don't worry, it's Probstein's fault if they sell it. I'm just a scammer in the background, getting my way, doing my things. So be very careful. This is largely where the majority of it is being pumped through, BGS and Probstein, because that is the path of least resistance. Probstein's not doing fuck all. BGS is also seemingly not doing fuck all, in my opinion. Now, you form your own opinion. In my opinion, you should not trust a signature unless you know exactly where it came from. Ideally, you are there in person and it's signed for you. A lot of these need to be personalized anyway, so you probably want your name on there or something of the sort, maybe your handle, rather than a to trainer or a to Chorizord or whatever they want to put on there, to Giovanni, to Meowth. It's just weird. And then at the same time, with these Japanese artists, many of them do not like it when you resell this stuff, do not like it when you tamper with this stuff. So it's weird. Like, you have something that's kind of a tribute to the artist. So why would you want that thing to be something that pisses the artist off if you're reselling it, whatever? It's kind of gross. If you learn enough about it, you should know the ins and outs of, hey, I shouldn't be buying this stuff on the secondary market. It's kind of a slap in the face. Can you do whatever you want with the thing that you purchased? Sure. Is it your property? Sure. But, like, it's tainted. It's tainted at that point. So, Swolepoke says, a while back, I was followed by one of BGS/BAS authenticators on Twitter. Was expecting a message, but never got one. Why? I don't understand. They don't want to reach out to the individuals who can help them with this stuff, clean up the market, clean up what's going on here, and then it should be very easy for the grading companies to pinpoint, like, hey, where are these cards coming from? Maybe we shouldn't authenticate any more of these fake autographs. The same person keeps submitting them, or the same people keep submitting them. We can just cut it off at the source. We don't lose any more money. We don't look stupid in front of the entire internet or anyone that cares enough to watch this video. Balls in their court. So he sent Larry a message here, to my knowledge. Larry has not responded at this point in time, but we'll follow up if he does. He says, hey Larry, my name is Jeremy. I'm an avid collector of autographed Pokemon cards. I'm assuming you followed my account because of one of Rattle Pokemon's videos on YouTube. Who could I talk to over at BGS/BAS about helping them authenticate legitimate Pokemon autographs? To date, I've seen a few dozen forgeries slip through and continue to get authenticated. I would love to be of assistance to help protect the community since these cards go for thousands of dollars. Let me know your thoughts. So offering assistance, maybe he can just point them in the right direction. Maybe he can just point out the ones that, hey, you messed up on this one. Void the cert. Stop taking submissions from the individual who's sending you fake autographs. Pretty simple, right? Should be pretty easy. Here he says, also want to add that I'm not looking to get hired or paid, just wanting to offer up my expertise to better protect the community. So there you go. Free. It's free. Why? I don't understand. They don't like free. The grading companies don't like free. You have to be paid. You have to be there. Again, and if they don't want to shell out the money, I would imagine that Swolepoke or any of the other individuals who I would consider an expert on autographs, they're not going to want to pay that much. These guys do not want to sit there and authenticate these things all day and night. They don't want to sit at a desk doing submissions. And I would assume that the amount of money required to get them to do that, because there's probably a price, they're not going to shell it out. So the thing is, it's just like, if you don't know, and how did these companies not require proof of where and when and how and who got it signed? Like, that would be just the bare minimum, I would think, unless it's like an in-person event. And they won't even work with the staff. They won't work with the staff at the events who can prove and have shown in the past, hey, that was never signed at the event that it was supposedly signed at. It's got this date at the bottom. This is where the event was. No card was signed to that person on that card. And they still don't void the cert. Like, it blows my absolute mind how anyone trusts any of these companies. Offer now stands for the big dogs. We got PSA, Beckett, CGC, JSA, who's like CGC's little pet authenticator service, I guess. And you notice that we don't have, the tags are not going through. So we have CGC and JSA who have blocked Swolepoke from tagging them, because you wouldn't want to be notified when Swolepoke's posting that, hey, you guys authenticated a fake autograph. That'd be a shame. I mean, the best and easiest thing that they can do is seek out assistance or ask for help, whether you compensate them or not. You should. Same with the events, the signing events. You should compensate the people that are there running the event, that verify that, hey, XYZ, yeah, that's the same person that submit. That's the same person that got this autograph on this day. This is when they went through. It's all logged. Easy peasy, right? Because it has to be dated, has to be personalized. Easy stuff. He says, well, that feels pretty telling. LOL, weird since they reached out a while back and wanted to hire me. So that's the thing. These grading companies, like, if you don't play nice with them, or if you don't, I guess, get hired by them, they're like, oh yeah, that guy's not an expert. That guy doesn't know what he shows. How many examples have we seen on the channel here? How many videos where he shows like side-by-side comparisons, what's wrong with it, and that it's a copy or it's a sketch from a different artist altogether. Here he is about battling the dragon, the multi-headed dragon. And then we got the forgers submitting fake autographs, all coming from the same part of the world, using the same exact channels for submitting, all being exact copies of real cards, using the same technique on each auto that's easily catchable, going through BGS and being sold on Probe Steam. Pretty much. Now they have been cut off from the other places, but then they're just gonna go through BGS and Probstein. They're gonna go where they can still pump it through. It's just like it's as we saw with the giant sports card fraud signature ordeal recently, where the guy Sudoku'd and then let it leak. Hey, by the way, the entire market is shafted because all the autographs are fake. Like the barrier to entry to autographs, whether it's an auto pen, whether it's somebody that just practices, is being enabled by the grading companies, is being enabled by the consignment services. And no, it's not. The consignment service needs to do their own work, do their own stuff to make sure that scams are not being run through their platform. They can't just be like, oh yeah, well, it's PSA's fault. It's BGS's fault. We're just here to sell it. It's their expert opinion. No, you need to do more. The expectation should be that you're doing your best to make sure you're not selling forgeries, you're not selling altered cards, no matter how many pieces of plastic are around the thing, so that you can point the blame at somebody else. Swellpoke says, well, the day has finally come where one of my cards has been forged. So they even forged his Kirasaki Evolution Trio, the Flareon. Insane. And poorly, I might add. So here we have it. We have the side-by-side comparison. They copied it. They didn't copy it perfectly. There are giveaways within it. Swellpoke says, what's wild to me is how the heck are they authenticating a Kirasaki autograph? What are the references to help authenticate? Google. Who is the expert at BGS/BAS that knows a Kirasaki autograph well enough to pass this? They don't. They're just going to soak the money. The problem is, like, if it isn't somebody that's committing fraud internally at one of these grading companies, they're just blindly authenticating things, negligence maybe. But we've also seen just so many examples where these companies can't just cut off. If somebody has a track record of fraud in any area, just don't accept submissions from them. It's so simple, but they get greedy. They get greedy internally. They get greedy they want more submissions. We need more submissions so that we can be on the leaderboard. We need to take shitty mystery product submissions so we can pump up our numbers like CGC. Also, so again, it's like largely Probstein and BGS at this point in time. We have the wrong era of autograph on that one. We have 2002 style autograph on a not 2002 card. Goes into the curving. And again, this is it's just so easy for them to, we will not authenticate this. Same with the errors. Same with the stuff that you don't know what happened to it, what went on. Just don't authenticate it. If you don't know, if you can't prove from start to finish this is real, do not authenticate it. It's that simple. But they don't. They take it in, they slap it through. If you guys missed the Ultimate Poke Flute stuff, where these guys had an artist, Kamiya, who was in bad health. They tricked him into signing for them at no charge. He asks everyone that he signed for, please don't resell the cards. These are a gift. These are for you. And they went and they're wiping off the personalizations. Pretty disgusting stuff. What does PSA do? Pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. They're just going to allow this to happen. Let it come through. I hit an Ultimate Poke Flute at one point in time, too, where he's like, AKA Skin Flute, where he's like, oh, no, it's for my personal stuff. So I'm just wiping off because I don't want the personalization on my own cards. But he's just like constantly selling this shit. He was selling it at the time. He's full of shit. It's just scummy. It's just scummy. Now, argue, is it better or worse than like just a fake autograph from the start? I don't know. I just think there's no place for any of this. Being deceitful, scamming, fraud, none of it. None of it's acceptable. You guys have to protect yourselves. If you know new people to the hobby, there was someone that came into the Discord. He was buying from Kraken Hits, buying mystery products from Kraken Hits. He was grading with tag. He was, and then he purchased on eBay, purchased an 8 on eBay of a card. Then the person said, "Oh, I can't find it," but then reached out to them on Instagram and upsold them for a 9 for more money. Like, guys, you got to be careful. Like, the amount of scam that you almost walked into, or probably did walk into, it's all there. It's all around. And everyone's like, well, not everyone. Some people are like, Rattle, you only cover the bad stuff. Yeah, I'm showing you the bad stuff. Avoid the bad stuff and you will have a much better time. There are good people. There are good things. There are lots of things to enjoy in the hobby. Sadly, people don't cover the bad stuff enough so that you can avoid it. People don't want to call out the bad actors because they'll get threatened. They'll get threatened with lawsuits. They'll get threatened with violence. So I'm here. I'm here to do that. That's what we're doing. Don't get me wrong. I love Pokemon. I love Pokemon cards. I have some autographs. Received those personally to me, which is a whole different story. And if you like autographs, I would suggest doing that. If you can, be very careful with it. Next up is gambling. Stay away from gambling. If there's one tip in Pokemon, in anywhere to do with collectibles, stay away from the gambling because it's riddled with scams and it's just not a good value. If you're being sold gambling, and even if it's in a legitimate way, you're wasting your money and you're probably getting something that you don't really want. All right, link tree here, real quick. We got PSA Pikachu, Securus Card Shop, Card Market, Buyee. A couple different options to sign up with there for different coupon codes to save on your first purchase. We got a free 25 when you spend 25 with Catch 'em All collectibles. Rip and ship, also not good value, but at least you had to blindly trust somebody. If rip and ship or anything of the sort, you were blindly trusting someone. I trust these guys, but it's not good. It's not a good use of your money. If you want to waste money, but know that you're wasting money. Collector app for tracking your collection, a bunch of discount codes for the stuff that I use and recommend, a bunch of affiliate links that you can click before you shop for the things that you want to buy anyway. The free ways to support the channel are the best ways. Thank you to Card Market for sponsoring. Singles, guys, singles. Don't feel like you need to grade stuff. Don't feel like you need to buy it graded. I mean, if it's a good price and it's graded and you want to crack it out or whatever it might be, just weigh your options. Don't rush into grading either. Rush into grading when it's more expensive, when it's backed up. If you're not reselling the stuff, there's no rush to get your stuff graded. There's no reason to go with XYZ LMNOP grading, who's only an option when the market is crazy and is not going to add any value to your card. I mean, even with the bigger grading companies, if you're not grading the right stuff in the right grades, it's not going to add any value to it. You just wasted $20. Congratulations. It's now worth the same amount as a near mint copy. Depends on the card, depends on the value, depends on what it's going to get as a grade. All right, gambling time. If there's one easy rule to follow, if you want value, because everyone's complaining about the price of modern products, everyone's complaining about the price of Pokemon cards and everything else, the stuff that spiked is almost certainly going to retrace. We saw it before with the pandemic. Be careful with anything. If you go look at the TCG player graph or anywhere else, whatever you use to track the prices, and you see it go, it's probably coming back down. Is it going to come all the way back down? Maybe not. But you got to be careful with that stuff. Even more so, you got to be careful with gambling. So the people that are like, oh yeah, but I go on Whatnot. Whatnot is riddled with scammers. Not everyone on there is scamming. I would argue more are scamming on there than not scamming. That's my guess. I would say in excess of 50% are on there scamming. If they're any good at it, if they have half a brain cell, they're going to get away with it. For anyone that's like, oh, I only buy from the big sellers because they're reputable. The biggest seller on the platform was scamming everyone. And everyone's like, yeah, but I only go on Whatnot because there's protection. They'll refund me. They didn't go ask the people that got scammed by Blake. The countless people that have been scammed by Blake Whatnot put out a message saying, hey, we refunded everyone impacted. They hadn't refunded anyone at that point. So they're lying in that. And then also they didn't refund everyone afterwards who submit a claim. It should have been blanket refund everyone, anytime anything had to do with any bounty, any wheel spin, any repack that Blake ever did should have been refunded. People got scammed. They got scammed by Blake, and they also got scammed by Whatnot, who was heavily promoting him. I think Blake would still be on the platform if it wasn't for the fact that the media absolutely destroyed them on it. There's countless videos on the channel if you want to find out what's going on there. We've seen countless examples recently where scammers are just allowed back on the platform. They get a slap on the wrist or they stream under somebody else. So no, Whatnot is not going to protect you. It's no better than like the Facebook groups with the razzle dazzles where they got to call it a razzle. They got to call it a waffle because it's illegal gambling. And they don't want to get caught. They don't want to get automatically flagged by Facebook by calling it a raffle. It's an illegal lottery is what it is. They're not going to call it that. They got to call it a waffle, razzle, swazzle, McDazzle. Whatnot, just countless videos. 144 videos now on Whatnot where scams are taking place. Stay off the fucking platform. If you know anyone that's new, tell them to stay off the platform as well. You're going to save them a headache. No, you're not going to get scammed every time. You're going to get scammed eventually. My apologies to the less than 50% of the people on there that are not scamming anyone. It's the platform's fault. Be mad at Whatnot for allowing it to happen. Be mad at Whatnot for not making it right and immediately removing anyone. Be mad at Whatnot for not having a vetting process. That's the biggest thing. How the hell can a scammer keep making new accounts? How are there kids on there scamming people? Where's the just even the bare minimum vetting process where you just have a video call with their employee to make sure that it's not a child, to make sure that it's not one of the scammers that you've already kicked off the platform. Oh, greedy. It's just greedy. It's greedy nonsense. All right, so covered this before. 2024 gambling era. We see it in sports. You can bet on everything in existence. It's so weird that like an alcohol or tobacco or anything like that, everything got like, no, you can't advertise that at all. But now all advertising, all sports, all everything is just like start to finish. Hey, are you gambling on this game that you're watching right now? Hey, are you guys, please. There are better places to gamble. Do so responsibly. Whatnot is not the place to be gambling. Mystery products are not mystery Pokemon product, repack, sports, doesn't matter what it is. Repacks are not the place you want to be gambling. It is a very, very easily rigged. We saw it rigged. We saw these companies. We saw CGC partner with a fraudster to make a repack. He was kicked off of Whatnot for rigged gambling, in their opinion, or they wouldn't have banned him because they don't want to ban anyone. They barely ban anyone. And then we had Kraken Hits selling those repacks. And Whatnot was like, okay with that. He's not on the platform, the guy we banned. But it's okay. We'll let Kraken Hits sell for him. We'll let other sellers sell for him. By proxy. They're not out here to save your ass. They're not out here to protect the consumer. And yes, there's only so much they can do. But they don't do that. They don't do the bare minimum. Stay away from the gambling. It's easily rigged. Especially the pull boxes. You think the pull box stuff can't be rigged? It's just right there, guys. All right, we had raffle. So speaking of like Facebook and everything else, we had a police officer that was rigging raffles. I've seen countless examples where this happens. So like, oh yeah, that guy was rigging that. How his friend always wins, or the account, his burner account that he makes, he just reran it multiple times. Be careful. You do not want to touch any of that. Repacks. All right, let's get into the repacks. We got a few articles to go through. Repacks are not your friend. Repacks are just like everyone's always in the talks that like when the grading numbers are up, Everyone's like junk slaps, junk slaps. Even if you go on like the Fanatics auctions, the Fanatics Collect auctions, the first pages are just absolute trash. And no, they're trash in terms of you should not be. You're just creating extra waste. It's like low value cards, often in low grades, like commons, reverses from modern sets that have no business being graded, even if they didn't get a 6 or a 5 or whatever. And yes, even the higher ones, the ones that have a name or an influencer behind it, your rare candy, it's just garbage. You're paying for the gamble. And if you just put that money towards something that you actually want, you're going to be much better off. Because the majority of it's all filled. Why do you think the Fanatics auctions sell for $5 plus buyer's premium? Because they're going to put them back into this shit. You're just buying the same garbage over and over again. Maybe you sell it back to them. Be careful. Be careful, guys. There's many good ways to shop, to buy, to collect. Some of it is more optimized than others in terms of value, but anything with gambling on it like this, and I know there's someone down in the comments that's like, Rattle, but the Pokemon pack to begin with is gambling. And if you think that some fraudster that's making mystery packs, or anyone that's making mystery packs, is as trustworthy as the Pokemon Company International, I got news for you. I got a little news flash for you. They're not. You should not trust it. And why are you like? This is like adding an extra layer of gambling on top of. So you're getting packs inside that already have a gambling aspect to them, but now you got a box that has those packs in it, and you got to gamble on the packs that you're gonna get. The best thing you can do is just hard avoid it, and that's like best case scenario, because like these are terrible. The mystery power boxes. That's definitely a situation as well, where they're working and getting supply from Pokemon and then mystery packing it. Not good value. Don't do it. Games of the video game stuff too, with like the randomization. If it was just randomization, but like when there's a monetary attachment to it with the loot boxes and shit like that, like it's grimy. It's predatory. Grimy. Don't like it. All right, so we'll get into, I guess, conflict of interest area here. We had the CGC grading for the mystery box company that they shouldn't have been accepting submissions from him whatsoever since he was banned from their competition. Then we had PSA, who was selling on eBay, which is fine. I think it's fine as long as PSA is selling cards for individuals from their vault on eBay. I don't think it's fine if PSA is able to acquire, grade, and sell their own cards. I think that's just like too far. You're touching too much there. There's too much conflict of interest is kind of what we're going to call it. If you missed out on the videos regarding the PSA vending machines, also just more gambling added on top of it. Vegas, you gotta gamble for some PSA cards. All 10s, but they were pretty junky. Not worth the money. Clearly not worth the money. They're going to claim that there's certain hits. Sometimes that stuff is not disclosed, so they can just put whatever they want. They can put as little hits as they want in that stuff. And it was like Japanese inexpensive cards in terms of the Pokemon stuff. Japanese modern that would probably 10 most of the time. So them guaranteeing a 10 is not really doing anything for you. It's just going to be a junkier 10 rather than like a good card in a 9 or 8 or whatever it might be. So the TLDR on this, if you missed it, essentially we have a scammer who has scammed alongside other scammers with mystery type products in the past. Not a surprise. PSA claims that the vending machine was not their doing. It has the same pattern on it as their booth does, though. So I don't know if that was them backtracking and being like, oh, maybe this was a bad idea. Like they were under the impression, from what I gathered and the little amount of response I got out of them, They were under the impression that this person was going to do something like this, but not that they would make it look so much like it was PSA doing it themselves. So clearly, I don't know if they haven't learned their lesson on this, but they shouldn't have been grading this guy's cards to begin with. They should not have been working with this individual. And we've seen it so many times. The grading companies are just like, oh, well, we can make a lot of money if we work with the fraudsters. They should have never accepted anything from this individual based on his track record and who he works with and what he was going to do with this. I don't know if it's the backlash where they were like, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't have this. I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Again, it's just more layers and more ways that the grading companies can be exploited or are willingly exploited by the bad actors in collectibles. All right, so here, let's get into the PSA repack certification program. We got to move this over a little bit so we can see the whole thing. On the old collect, PSA launches repack certification program. Program will launch July 30th in partnership with Atlanta's Cards HQ. Not a fan of Jeff Wilson and his Cards HQ. If you need more information on him and what's going on with that wiener baby, you can always take a look or ask Sports Card Radio what their thoughts are, and they'll let you know about his endeavors. So here we got it. We got it from Ben Burrows. Grading Giant PSA expanded into one of the fastest growing businesses in the hobby Wednesday with the launch of a new repack certification program. So they're doing what CGC did, just more in the open, I guess. This is not going to end well. I see it a mile away. Something's going to come up. The problem is with the repack stuff is just like it's so easy to hide fraud with repack shit. So easy. They're gonna claim that they're certified though. So you're gonna blindly trust the company PSA that we showed earlier, who refuses to work with autograph experts or deactivate trimmed cards that are clearly trimmed, deactivate signed cards that are clearly not real autographs. In my opinion, all of this is my opinion. Through the program, PSA will serve as an outsourced partner to physical repackers by providing logistics, certification, and authentication. Kind of sounds like the vending machine, doesn't it? According to Nathan Wolf, PSA's president of marketplaces, the company will authenticate every card, including the checklist, validate the checklist, and randomly place cards into the repacks. I have so little faith in the grading companies. I have so little faith in every gambling product that ever existed. And even if somehow there's nothing fraudulent going on, it's going to be bad value. It has to be, because if they're spending money to have PSA authenticate this stuff or certify it, whatever you want to call it, if they're paying money for the materials to put it in there, if they're paying for the time and effort and logistics and everything involved, you're paying extra money for junk slabs. More often than not, it's going to be baked in. It's the same as any reputable mystery product. It might be reputable, but it's milking your dollars for gambling. It's kind of what it's doing, and it's pulling. It's not adding anything to any of these hobbies, I guess, is the biggest thing. It's reselling the same shit over and over again in a new package. Adding waste. And it's just money that's being extracted without any additional item. Because it's repack. It's repack. Don't touch the repack stuff, guys. The product can then be shipped to the repacker for distribution, or PSA can facilitate drop shipping to customers. Trust in the hobby is everything. Do not trust the grading companies. Do not blindly trust them. If you like graded cards, grade your cards. Do so with a budget and monetary value added in mind. Or if you just don't care, you just really want a plastic case around your stuff, buy your own plastic case, put it in there. If you really want to grade it, you don't care that your $4 card is going in a $20 piece of plastic by someone being paid minimum or slightly above minimum wage, Go to town. Do you. You collect how you want to collect, but just don't, whatever you do not blindly trust the grading companies. We've seen time and time again where it's a terrible idea. We've seen time and time again in this video why it's a terrible idea. PSA has helped to facilitate the massive growth of the hobby over the last 5 years by creating a standardized, reliable, and consistent understanding of authenticity and quality through grading. As repacks continue to gain momentum, the same needs to exist for repacks. Repacks is just like it's like a dead era. It's like let's just recycle and resell the same shit. The first repack product from the program launches July 30th in partnership with Atlanta area card shop Cards HQ and its founder Jeff Wilson. Oh, Jeff. What a wiener. Titled Graded Grails, the initial repack launches with 1 series for football, 1 series for basketball, and 2 series for baseball. Each series debuts with 432 boxes, each containing 1 PSA graded card for $299. Additional series, including Pokemon, are in development and planned to release in August. Kill me. Trash. Absolute trash. Again, it's just trash. It's trash. Trash. Absolute trash. I hate it. It's the same reason why, like, there's greasy money to be made, and then there's also it's gonna be riddled with fraud. I can see it coming a mile away. PSA certified repacks sell out quickly amid controversy. So I guess they sold out. Guys, please, just don't touch this shit. Don't touch it. It's gross. It's not good. It's not good value. It's not a good person behind this. And again, how hidden are the people behind this going to be? People preached like, oh yeah, CGC getting into grading Pokemon cards, getting into grading trading cards in general is so good for the competition is good. We gotta make it. Hasn't been good because they all just keep pushing the line. They all keep just working with more fraudsters. More fraud is pushed through them. More stuff. Is it good? Then I don't think so. I don't think it has been. I think it's not good. Because it's all it does is everyone's just like, oh yeah, but look at the fraud from the other company. They did fraud too. They're all frauds. So I'm gonna choose my favorite. Instead of being like, hey, I'm gonna go with the one that is trustworthy, the one that doesn't work with fraudsters. I'm gonna go with the one that deactivates certs when they see that a signature is fake. When they see that a extremely expensive card is trimmed. Because the bottom is missing off the fucking thing, and you can line it up with any other card in existence and see that it's missing a chunk. Unfortunately, that's not where we're going. That's not the direction it took. That's not the direction that these companies are choosing because they make more money by not choosing that path. Same with like, oh, CGC, I gotta send to CGC because they grade all the errors. Yeah, they also graded a fucking Charizard that was laminated and had the ink pulled off the front of it. Because they got overzealous on grading everything that resembled an error. They graded cards that were snipped with scissors as miscuts. It's not good. And then that pressure where people are starting to bring that business because CGC will grade anything. Then PSA plays catch up. BGS is just off in the distance grading fucking altered and fake autographs all over the place. Like, it's just making more of a mess. Has a lot to do with regulation in the space. We've seen it with coins. We've seen it with everything else. The grading companies need to be held to a higher standard in terms of by legal means. And they should be forced to back every single one of these products that they're putting in a case. If you're going to authenticate it, put everything behind it. If you want to authenticate autographs, when someone shows you that it's fake and it's coming from the same person that sent you all the fucking fake ones, yes, you should be paying out on it. They don't. There's no financial guarantee on an autograph, but you're going to take people's money to put it in plastic and say that it's real. Then we have fanatics doing the same shit. We're going into the gambling era. Do not purchase any of this shit if you value money. If you want to get the best bang for your buck. Again, the best way to amass a sick collection is to make good financial purchases as often as you can, over as much time as you can. There's a reason why it's like time in the hobby over timing the hobby. Avoid the pitfalls, avoid the scams, avoid the gambling. It's just like, get these fucking repacks out of here. It's gross. We're going to see more of it. And people are going to buy it. People are going to get burned on it. There's going to end up being a scam. We've seen it already. CGC already beat them to the punch. And it was a fucking scam. All right, guys. Take care. Love you. Join the Discord. Free restock notifications. Pick up a little bit of product if you want to. Do know that if you're open product, almost always the expected value of the contents is going to be less than that. So again, there's min-maxing. Do stuff within moderation. Know where your best value plays are, and you'll be much better off. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.